So this is an interesting moment for me. So it's the end of my president's term, and it's been a crazy year. It's been an exciting year, and I think I'm so honored to have been able to be up here and to be your president. And I think about the day that I became president and the day I was officially elected in was also one of the biggest honors of my life, because I got to recognize our outgoing immediate past president at the time, Daniel Conti, and I got to say some of the things that we all want to say and that we all know about him. It was really an honor for me. He's done and continues to do so much for the industry. And so I think it's only fitting that I end my presidency also honoring someone else who means so much to this industry and to me, and that's giving out the President's Award. This award is chosen by the president, and it's given to an individual that we feel have really contributed to the association and really given to the association. And normally it's a surprise, but unfortunately this gentleman couldn't be here tonight. He does live in Berlin, and even though he is actually in the States right now, has family obligations. So we all understand that because we're all family here. So that's why he's already been printed in the booklet. But this gentleman, Carson Booth, who a lot of you know and a lot of you have known for a long time, was, and he may not even know this, but a lot of you also probably don't know this, was one of the first people I met in the industry. It was at my first HITEC, not surprisingly at a bar. You know, I had come from the tech industry, and this was my first industry conference. This was my first real experience in hospitality, and I thought, wow, this is what conferences are supposed to be, right? I'd gone to all the hacker conferences and the tech conferences, and you know, their version of a party was everybody brings their computer into a room and connects it and plays games and that sort of thing, and that was the cool thing to do. So I'm sitting at this bar, and I don't know anybody in this industry really, and this guy comes up and starts telling me, you know, all about the industry and how great it is. And I said, man, you know this is so amazing, because this is a tech conference with a bunch of tech people, and it's fun. All of these people are fun. And he's like, you know what that is? That's HFTP. And I said, what's HFTP? No, is that HITEC? Is that HFTP? Anyways, very first time I ever met him. Fast forward to every single HITEC after that, some annual conventions, and this guy was always there, and always the life of the party, always great energy, always talking about how great HFTP was through some of our close friends, very troubling times. He was there, always with a smile on his face. So when we started up the HITEC Advisory Council for Amsterdam, and he joined that council and really took the leadership of it, I thought this is great. Throughout the course of my presidency, I have been so proud of what we've done internationally, and when we launched this HITEC Amsterdam to twice the number of people that we expected to be there, and an incredible education session. I mean, really, truly a European conference put on by an association that historically only done and run conferences in North America. And I said, Frank, this is absolutely amazing. Why and how did we do this? And he said it was because of Carson Booth. This guy really put a huge amount of effort into making HITEC Amsterdam great. He ran sessions, he organized the troops, he made sure that it was really a truly European conference. And so I'm honored to recognize him as the contributor this year with the President's Award. And I wish he was here, but thank you.
As I just want to follow up on what Lyle's said, Carson's the chair of the Amsterdam Advisory Board, and I'm vice chair. And I've known him for probably pushing 20 or 25 years. He was instrumental in getting me one of my first international contracts when it was Starwood. And I traveled all over the Middle East working for Carson. And seriously, a nicer guy you would not wish to meet. So well deserving of the award. One of the things I want to just mention to you, I did a hotel for Carson. One of the things in technology that we struggle with as a technologist is the technology which we put into hotels has not only to satisfy the millennial, the young lad who wants to do everything on his iPad and that sort of stuff, but, you know, our mothers and grandmothers, when they stay in hotels, they want to be able to stay and feel comfortable as well. So, you know, and they don't use the iPads and everything else. So it's a constant challenge for us as a technologist to try and get that balance right. And whenever we put telephone systems in, that seems to be one of the things that a lot of people have problems with. And a lot of that is drawn from a lot of the ways that you operate telephone systems here in the US to how we do it in England is different from how they do it in France and that sort of stuff. And I'm reminded of a story that was one of Carson's hotels. And I had been instrumental in putting a telephone system in, and it was the first day of going live. So it was a rather stressful day, and I can remember I was sat by the telephonist at the time. And this gentleman phoned down, let's just say he was American, let's just say. Now, this was a long time ago. Now, you have to remember, in England, and I guess over here, a long time ago, before we had mobile phones, we had telephone boxes. And you could wander down the street and make a phone call from a telephone box. How weird is that? Now, there are certain people who use these telephone boxes for advertising. I don't know if they did it over here, but they certainly did it in London. So, how can I word this? Many of the ladies of the night would advertise their wares on postcards that they would have printed off, and they would put them all in telephone boxes, all right? I guess there's an app for that now, but probably. But in the good old days, so I'm told, they used to put all these little postcards with a little photograph. And I remember sat next to this telephonist who received this call, and it went something like this. She answered the call, and the gentleman said, I'm really keen on having, I want a young lady. And I wonder if I'd like her to be maybe about 6 foot tall and high heels and a basque. And would that be, do you think that would be nice? Does that sound okay? And the telephonist said, that sounds absolutely wonderful, sir. If you'd like to dial 9 for an outside line, first of all, I'm sure somebody will be able to help you.